Okay, we're in our CMS dashboard where we've created articles, writers, some categories, some portfolio items. And so now the question is, how do we get this content to display on our website? And this is actually quite simple. I'm going to show you how to do this here. So if you're in your dashboard, you can click over here to the top right into Design Editor. And from here, we're going to have access to all of our pages. So if we click on the top bar here, we can see our home and some other pages that we have listed. But in this case, we want to create a brand new page to display this information. So we can click on this plus button here in the right of the top bar, and we have a choice to create a new page, a modal, or a dynamic page. In this case, we just want to create a new page. And before we get started adding content to this page, I'm just going to expand this vertically just to make a little bit more room for our content. And then when I scroll up, I can drag and drop content very easily from the sidebar by just clicking and dragging on text. We're going to add some text to the top, and let's call this Featured News. And we can change the weight of this. Let's change that to 900, and we're going to give this a font size of 48. And let's add some spacing here from the top. Maybe 60 pixels will be fine. And then we want to show a list of our featured news. So we can come back into the sidebar and click on the arrow near the bottom to expand this. And you can see we have a few types of elements. So we have some box elements, some images, uploads, things like that. And I'm just going to click on CMS because I want to start featuring some articles. So you can see here very easily we have access to our articles, to our writers, and everything that we've seen in our CMS. And we also have the collections that we created for featured writers, for example, or for top articles. In this case, I'm going to come up to the top, and we're just going to add all articles here, and we'll click, drag, and let go, and now that's populated on our page. Now we can change some spacing here. Let's give this about 20 pixels. And you can see we chose articles to display here, but you can change the content at any point. Here in the top left-hand area, we have a button that says Articles, and we can click on that to get a few more properties. Instead of articles, we can probably change that to My Portfolio, and you can see how that portfolio now shows. I'm going to change this model back to articles, and we also have the option to filter the articles that show up here in the featured news. So if I want to filter by writer, for example, I can click on writer and choose the writer that I want to filter. Now we have 2 articles posted by Stefania, and I can change this limit. Let's change this to 4. And we can see that we have more articles displaying. We can also display a Load More button. That's going to be displayed at the very bottom here. So as the visitor clicks on Load More, it's going to expand on this list. Now let's create a little bit more space here. And I want to show you other types of content that you can also add. So instead of dragging in a new text element here, I can come up here and just click on this element. And with a quick keyboard shortcut of copy and paste, I can paste this header with the same styling that I like. And I'm going to just scroll down here to the bottom and just add this right here. And we're going to call this Featured Writers. So now we want to show the writers. We can come back into the left panel and expand this list. And because we're in the CMS list right here, we can choose writers. Just simply drag and drop this. And again, we might want to change some of the properties here. So we can click on writers in the top left corner. And let's say we want to feature 3 or 4 writers and also have the ability to load more if they'd like to. Now, the great thing about this content that we're adding is we have total flexibility of customizing anything that we want. We can resize anything such as this circle that's masking the image. We can change the font size and styling of certain elements. And we can also drag things around. For example, if we want to show this on the left-hand side, here we can do that. And you can see here with just a few clicks, we can change spacing, direction, layout, and every piece of content that we change adapts that same change. Now, if you want to see how this content looks in other screen sizes, below the top bar, we have the screen sizes that we can choose from. And in this case, I want to choose the iPhone 11 Pro. So once I click on that, we can see that the content adapts beautifully for that. Now, as I scroll down further here, we can see how there might be a little bit too much spacing or padding, and we might need to change some sizes. So because we're in this layout here, we can do this very easily. I'm just going to change the size here. I'm going to come to this content here and change some of this padding. And as I make these changes, it's only going to reflect this screen size and smaller. So we can come over here, for example, and we can make some changes to the padding right here. Maybe make this title a little smaller. And here I'm going to center align this. And we made some quick changes here that are only applied for the mobile screen. So as I come back into laptop, for example, we can see that that now adapts and fits the laptop screen size. And this is how you can add your CMS content to a web page and change the look of this content to fit your personality and style.